and welcome back to the Citizen channel. Hope you all stay safe and well as we do our little odd show. Look at the value around the bookies on the Leicester City versus Manchester City game on the 29th of October, 12:30 p.m. kickoff, match day 12 of season 22-23, part 1. Not long to go now, guys, till the end of part 1, that's for sure. It's a shame we don't get a trophy for it. I wanted to have a trophy, actually. Obviously, I might end up at Arsenal at the moment, but I thought they should have had a sort of mini Premier League trophy for part 1 and then one for the whole lot. But hey, never mind. They don't take any notice of what I say, but there you go. We're going to have a look at the value on this game. Please, if you are new to the channel, I'll do lots of all City stuff, past, present and forever, of course. Lots of different types of vlogs. So please join us if you've not already done so. Push that subscribe on, push the bell notifications. Please jump on board the Citizen channel. It'd be great to have you on board. And please leave us your comments and let us know your bets. If you have any bets, anything you've done yourself, any sort of permutations you've done. These are all very straightforward prices, but I know a lot of people do various bits and pieces, 2 or 3 bets in one, doubles and trebles, etc. Let us know, and please, you can give us a thumbs up, guys. Much appreciated. Make an old City fan very, very happy. Right, all these prices today are as at the 27th of October, 2022, 12 noon. Yes, just before you have me bacon butty. Yes, please, when the fun stops, stop and be gamble aware, of course. All these now the price I'm going to give you, just there will be some slight better ones depending on where you've got your accounts, etc. But I've tried to give you the average price that's available. So there'll always be 1 or 2 of the bookies that will do better than this. Some of the smaller bookies as well as the big ones. So do shop around if there's anything that takes your fancy. It's not a big difference. Obviously, some interesting value. General odds, obviously, now we're back into 1 to 5 on again. We're obviously, after we got beat by Liverpool, we did go to something like 1 to 3, or I think 3 to 10, stuff like that. But we're back out now. We beat Brighton. We're back on track now. We're 1 to 5, so the bookies aren't taking any chances whatsoever. They're still firm favourites. Leicester themselves, obviously that's who we're playing. Interesting, yeah. If you get fancy a top half Leicester, you think they'll pull this around? I mean, obviously they started very poorly, but I think they've got the 4th best record now for the last 5 games. They've won 3, drawn 1, and lost 1 in the last 5. So form-wise, they've turned a corner hopefully, and they will hope to get at least 1 or 2 more wins before the World Cup. Although they've got some tough games coming up. But you fancy Leicester to finish in the top half? To say there's still 26 games to go, something like that. You can get 4 to 1 on a top half finish for Leicester, so that's not too bad. For Leicester fans, or Leicester fans might be watching this. We'll have some little information for you as well. The match odds themselves, City are 2 to 7 on, which is fair enough. Leicester are 9 to 1. That's very generous. I certainly won't be put off by a Leicester fan. You can get 5 to 1 the draw as well. So as a Leicester fan who's having a little bit of flutter, I might risk a 50p, Dutch in both of them. Leicester to win and a draw, and hey, happy days. What does it matter for 50p? It doesn't matter, does it? This is my starting 11. See the preview show. It doesn't contain Haaland because I'm not 100% sure he'll play. Some people are, some people aren't. Only ones will know be Pep, the coaching staff, and Haaland himself. But I've done my little team. If you watch my preview show, which is already available out there, so there will be links underneath to that. Check out my reasons and whys and their wherefores on my 11. But it is Ederson, Stones, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Gundo, KDB, Bernardo, Foden, and Grealish. That's my start 11 on which I based some of the bets, of course, like the first goal scorer, stuff like that. To sum up, yeah, I do expect a tight game. I only expect, all right, it could be a 2-goal winning margin. I do expect City to win, and I do want City to win. But as I said, it is a very, very tricky game. It's certainly a draw and a Leicester win are not beyond the realms of possibility. But I'm going for a 1-goal winning margin. I think it'll be very, very tight. 2 at a pinch, but I'm more inclined with 1 as it was last season with a 1-0 win. Of course, we'll see what those prices are like. But I do expect either a 2-0 or a 2-1 for City. Not particularly a 1-0 again, but I say 2-1's my sort of favourite bet. As I said, I've quoted Haaland, even though I've not sort of included him in my team, obviously on a couple of the prices. So let's get on to the prices. Let's get on to the value. First goal scorer, say Haaland is 2 to 1. The bookies aren't giving anything away with that anyway, even if he was playing. That's a bit mean. And then you get interesting ones. Foden's 13 to 2. He's not weighed in weighed in with a goal for a while, has he? Certainly for a first goal. KDB's the same. He actually got on the score sheet last week, which was always good. We'll have more of him in any time goal scorer, of course. He's 7-1. Grealish is 17-2. Bernardo, I expect to play a little bit more forward in this game. He's 10-1. If you want an outsider, the guy who keeps popping up for corners and just heading over the bar or missing out tends to be Nathan Aki. So at some stage, you might get one on target. So he's an interesting outsider. Go over to Leicester. That's an interesting one. Yeah, they're favourite as far as the bookies are concerned. And he's not been playing on a regular basis. He's only actually scored one this season so far. They've got Vardy. Vardy's their favourite at 10-1. And you get someone like Maddison, who's already scored 6 goals. He's 16-1. Some great value for Leicester fans here. 16-1 on Maddison. You get 11-1 on Daka, and he scored 3, but obviously Maddison's more prolific. And Barnes and Tielemans. Barnes has scored 4 so far this season. He's 20-1. And Tielemans has scored 2 so far this season. He's 20-1. As I say, Vardy's an interesting one at 10-1. Obviously, I know he's got a good record against City. He did score last season, but it was offside in the game at Leicester. But we're not even sure he'll be in the starting 11. Oh, go on to the anytime goal scorer, which is always a little bit more value. KDB, who I always look at, because if he's in and around 2-1, he's always worth it. And you might get a 2-1 or even better. But I've stuck him in at 15-8 there. But there are, as I said, there will be 1 or 2 better prices around. Bernardo, anytime goal scorer, as I said, if he's playing a little bit more forward, he might be due a goal, 11-4. And the aforementioned Aki is 9-1, as I say, from a corner or something like that. And I do think Leicester will score. As I said, I'm more inclined for a 2-1 victory for City with this one. I mean, Maddison's 9-2, Barnes is 11-2, Daka's the lowest at 16-5, but Tielemans is 7-1, and Vardy's 5-2. So, I mean, if you know Vardy and Daka, I mean, you can perhaps Dutch those other 3 and make a little bit of profit there. Again, Leicester fans or City fans, if you want to have a bit of fun. I mean, there's nothing to say you can't bet on someone scoring if you still expect to win it. City to win, is there? Interesting to score 2 or more goals. I didn't look at the hat-tricks. I don't think there's any chance anyone's going to get a hat-trick in this game, even the mighty Haaland. But to score 2 or more goals, if he did play, he's 11-5, so that's interesting. Both teams to score, as I said, both teams to score is interesting, but I've got a just slightly different one this time as well. Both teams to score in the first half. And I like the 10-3 about yes. I think that's a good shout. Why not? Why not both teams score in the first half? I like that. I mean, no's 2-9 on, so very restrictive. But I think, why not both teams score in the first half? I don't think there'll be any sort of trying to suss each other out in this one. So certainly possible. Half time, full time. You fancy Leicester to take a lead, but end up a draw full time. You can get 22-1 on that. City's a bit restrictive, which I won, obviously. That's 5-6 on. If you look at last season's, it was a draw in City. You can get 3-1 on that this year, which again is probably my sort of favoured thing on that. I want City to be winning, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw in City. Leicester is 18-1. A draw and then Leicester to win is 20-1, and just a draw and a draw is 17-2 again. I mean, some people are expecting a draw. I mean, we'll come on to the correct score now. It was 1-0 for City last season, of course, at the King Power. You can get 9-1 this season on that one. A 2-0 City win is 15-2. The one I like, 2-1 for City, is 17-2. And if you do fancy the draws, which are both interesting, a 1-1 is 10-1 and a 2-2 is 20-1, so both feasible. And Leicester fans, if you fancy a Leicester 1-0 win, it's 28-1, and a 2-1 win for Leicester's 28-1. Yeah, I mean, God forbid if it's any worse than that for us, if it does happen. But to me, a defeat's a defeat. It doesn't really matter by how many. Looking at the handicaps is a good one. If you fancy, as I say, I think City will only win by 1 goal. Obviously, I say it's going to be a tough game, but Leicester +2 with the handicaps, you can get 21-20 again. So I think that's worth a little interest. Goals under over. I don't think there's going to be loads of goals. I don't think there's going to be over 3.5 goals, which you can get 6-5 on odds against. I can't see that. Possible if both teams are open and have a go. It is very possible. Over 2.5 is more reasonable. I think there certainly could possibly 3 in this anyway. 3 goals. That's 4-9 on though. But if you fancy under 3.5, so up to 3 goals, that's 8-11. So that looks a little bit better. Winning margin for City, 1 or 2 goal are both 3-1. So again, if you think City are confident are going to win this, but not slaughter Leicester, which I think will happen, I don't think we'll slaughter Leicester by any means. 1 or 2 goals is 3-1. You can Dutch that, and a Leicester winning margin for 1 or 2 goals ends up at 12-1. So obviously that might be of interest to Leicester as well. And finally, before we go today, both teams to score. So yes, I do fancy yes. And all right, the bookies are going with no, because bookies are sort of agreeing because they're going to 4-5 on for both teams to score. If you fancy a no, there's going to be a clean sheet from one or both the teams. You can get even. So, but the bookies do fancy both teams to score, and I'm sort of going along with that. And if you don't mind betting odds on 4-5 is fine by me. So there you go. There's a quick look at some of the value. I think there is some value this week. Certainly value, as there always is against City for the opposing team. Certainly some value for Leicester fans, but certainly some value for City fans as well. As I said, I'm not averse to betting on certain things like goal scorers. I'm still confident City will win. I'm not, the other team scoring doesn't really matter. So I think there's a bit of value there this week. Let me know what you're having to go on anyway, guys. It'd be great to know, and keep your fingers crossed for you. Or just tell me after the event. One guy had interesting enough contact me. I forget who he was now. You'll know who you are. Dortmund away, he had 0-0, and he thought obviously he'd put a tenner on it, and he ended up he'd put 50 quid on it, and he had 950 quid in his bank. So obviously he messed up. He wanted the 0-0, but he instead of putting £10 on it, I think it was 19-1. Is it 19-1 or something like that? Yeah, I think it was. He put 50 quid on it by mistake, and he got up the next morning. Didn't watch the game. Got up the next morning, had 950 quid extra in his account. Happy days. He'll probably have his account closed now. Obviously, we know bookies don't like winners, but there you go. Let me know if that happens. It'd be great to hear about that anyway. It'd be absolutely fantastic. And good luck again anyway, and to you and everybody else out there. Thanks for watching, guys. Please, until we meet again. That's one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Come on, City. Bye for now.